Welcome in everybody to R.D.A. Outdoors and More. I'm Rebel Dies a Lot. Today we're going to be going over the Elgato Wavelink 3.0 beta. It is a beta now. So the way to get this is you're going to go to elgato.com/downloads. It's got the beta in there. It's got the plugin. Before you download the stuff, you are going to have to uninstall Wavelink 2.0 or any older Wavelink programs, okay? So once you download it, it's going to open up to a prompt. You're going to open it up. It's going to come up to a prompt to set up your mic. So if you have an Elgato product, now you can get this without having any Elgato products. It's free. Good deal. If you have Elgato products, it's going to help out a little bit because it's a whole part of the whole ecosystem of Elgato. Now, I do have the Wave. You can see here, I have the XLR dock for my Stream Deck Plus. Now, when you go in here to set up your mic, okay, you're going to set your mic up. It's going to set up the gain first. So all it's going to do is going to have you say a sentence. You're going to say that sentence and it's going to kind of figure out this, okay, this is what your gain should be. And then once you go through that, you can go through and set up your home mic. Now I watched a video on setting up my mic. There's a guy that's sponsored by Elgato. He goes through there and shows you how to set up your mic. It's really easy. And he also uses ChatGPT to come up with the EQ settings, which I did the same thing. It's pretty good. But you set up your compressor. All it's going to tell you to do is say a sentence. It's going to say, this is what we recommend. Use it. It works. The de-esser. You're going to click on to set up your de-esser. It's going to make you say a sentence. It's going to say, this is what you should use. Use it. It works. And then you go into ChatGPT. You can make your little recording with Audacity. Just go into Audacity, make your little sound recording just of you saying a few sentences. Plug it into ChatGPT. Tell them that what you're using, the program you're using, and that you want it to come up with an EQ settings for you. And it'll pop up the EQ settings for you. And then all you do is you come into your Elgato and you plug into everything that it says. And voila, you got your mic EQ'd and it comes out pretty good. I like it so far. I'm pretty sure there's some audio guys out there that can make it 10 times better, but for just somebody who's plug it into this to make your mic sound okay, make your mic sound pretty decent, I mean, this is a pretty easy way to go. I don't have no cloud lifters, no nothing. I'm using the Rode podcast mic, the XLR dock for my Stream Deck Plus, and then the Wavelink EQ settings right here. So now, if you don't have any Elgato stuff, I can't help you there because I don't know how to add the audio or add your mic in here, which I think there's ways you can do it. You just have to watch a video of somebody who doesn't have the mic, but any like Elgato audio interface pretty much. So this is what the Wavelink 3.0 beta looks like right here, okay? Now, it's pretty simple to use. There's a couple things that you have to do, but it's pretty simple. So over here on the left, you have your channels. These are the channels of where audio's coming from, okay? So you got your voice chat. I got my mic, my voice chat, my system. My system is, of course, any software that I want to hear, like say your Google Chrome or your YouTube, your AMD software, or whatever, your media player, stuff like that. So that's what I have coming through the system. Now, you can make, I think it's 8 of these channels, but you can add, like I'll show this, you can add more than one app into that one channel. So my system channel, you can see I have 1, 2, 3 things, and you can keep adding more and more in there. Okay. Which is pretty helpful. So 8 sounds plenty. Spotify, you can set up a music for Spotify and you can add whatever you use through music, YouTube music, or Firefox or whatever you use, you can put it into your Spotify here, or you can change this to where it just says music. Okay. So now this is your channels here. Okay. This is where your audio is coming in from. This is where your audio is going. These are your mixes. So your audio is going to go out through here. Now, the first one I set up was my mic FX. The reason I set up my mic FX was because I wanted to play sound effects through my mic. Okay. So doing that, my sound effects go from here, they play in here, so it plays through my mic. All right. And then that's all that I have going through here is my mic. So now when I go into games or say Discord or whatever, I can put my mic FX as the microphone in Discord or in the video game or whatever. So now that anytime I play a sound effects, it goes through my mic and everybody can hear it. People can hear it, or people in proxy chat can hear it. So you can kind of troll people with it. And I like it. Pretty easy. Now, sound effects. I don't use voice mod. I don't like voice mod. I could never get it to work for me. And if you watch videos on people setting voice mod up with Wavelength 3.0, you're not going to like it. I didn't like it. The way you have to route it, voice mod is just another program you have to have running in the background. So it's just, I didn't like it. I didn't want to use it. Now, I make my own sound effects. I can show you that later towards the end of the video. I'll show you how I make my own sound effects. But anyways, that's my mic. So nothing else is going to go through here, because anything you put in here is going to be played out through your mic. Anything that you have your mic set to, any more you add here is going to play through that. Because if I add my Spotify to my mic mix, anywhere my mic is going and I have Spotify open, it's going to be playing through that mic. So all I want playing through my mic is my mic and my sound effects. Now, this is my headphone mix. This is everything that's going into my ears, what I can hear. So I just want to talk about one thing real quick, okay, to kind of explain why I have a headphones output and a speakers output, okay? Now, if you click over here, this is where, if I click this ear part here, this is where it's going to be playing through my ear, okay? Now, if you want to hear something through your speakers, then you have to add it in here, okay? So, sorry, I had a brain fart, but okay. So right now, everything's being played through headphones. Now, you can click here. You can, this is the output, the headphones output. You can add an output. So I can add the speakers, no problem. But guess what? If you come over here, so now everything is being played through my headphones and my speakers. Now you can control the sound of how much goes into the speaker and how much goes into the headphone. No big deal. But that just means that it's controlling the sound of everything. Now you can set it up to where you can control the audio for your headphones. You can control the audio for your speakers on like your Stream Deck or something. But just know that everything is going to be playing through your headphones and your speaker. So your voice chat is going to go through your headphones and your speaker. Your system. Now, if they had a slider where I could set it up to where, okay, I can set it up where I can put headphones and the speakers, but then I could also click here and I can say this one here. I say, I don't want the voice chat playing to the speaker. I can just mute that and we're fine. It's just playing through my headphones or the system. Say I want it playing in both spots. That's fine. Say my sound effects. I don't want it playing to the speaker. I can just come in here, click it, and mute the speaker and leave it playing to the headphone. Same thing with the game. Now that would be nice. That would pretty much you can minimize down your mixes now. Now I don't have to have a headphone mix and a speaker mix, because now I can go in here and adjust each one of where it's playing through. So I can do one channel, one mix. I could take my system and I could go, hey, if I could click it and go, okay, I want this to play in both areas, fine. My sound effects, I could click it. If I could click it and then say, hey, I want it to play in my ears, but I don't want it to play in the speakers, and I can just mute it there. But you can't do that. So I had to go in here and make a speakers output. So now I have to add back speakers to this, because this here is going to be playing out to my speakers. Now, if you go back to headphones, you see it took it out of the headphone area. So if they could add that to this, it would help a little bit. I would like it even more. But I have to have a separate mix for my speakers, because sometimes I like to just hear the Spotify through the speakers, or I'm watching YouTube videos, whatever. I'm just watching it and I'm listening to it through the speakers. I don't want to hear it through my headphones. I want to have to put my headphones on to hear stuff all the time. So I had to make a speaker. So now, and you only get 5 channels. 5. You can only make 5 channels. So now I have 2 channels. I'm down to 4 channels because I'm using a speakers channel, which if I could have just added that speaker channel with the headphone channel, and then I can go into each individual one and say, hey, I don't want it to play through the speaker. I want it to mute in the speaker, but play through the headphone. That would be great. Now, to set these mixes up, okay, you just hit the add button. So let me delete this one. So here, there's an add button. You're going to have none at first. You're going to add one, make your mic. You're going to come over, and then you can just hit the plus button and you add the plus button. Now, anything over here that you want going out, this is where you want it to go out. So whatever you want to go out through your mic, you just add it. Anything you want to go out to your headphones, you just add it in here. Anything you want to go to your speakers, you just hit the little add button and you add it right in. Your clips and whatever you have this set up for. Now, I don't have an OBS mix. Some other people, if you watch them, they're going to have a string mix. Now, I don't have one. And the reason I don't have one is because I want to control all the audio separate in OBS. Okay, I just like to do it that way. If you make a stream mix, if you make one whole thing a stream mix and you add, everything into it, you add everything that you want to go to OBS into it. You move this stream mix into OBS, you only have one bar, one audio mixer bar in OBS. So if you want to, adjust your volume in OBS, you're adjusting everything at the same time. So you would have to go back into Wavelink and adjust the audio mix in there to how you want certain things to be sound. So if you want to turn up Spotify, or if the game or the voice chat is too loud, you want to turn it down, you got to go all the way back into Wavelink to turn it down, instead of going into just your OBS, turning the little dial or grabbing your slider and pulling it down a little bit. So I think it's better to have all your audio in OBS separate just for that. So say your chat's getting crazy and you need to turn it down, and you're not turning down everything else. Or, the game is like all of a sudden it's super loud. You playing a different game and the audio is different, so it's super loud. You want to turn it down, you can just grab your slider in OBS and slide it down. So that's why I don't have a mix, a stream mix. And I do, the thing I like the most about this is how you set these mixes up. So my clip mix over here, this audio is all the way up. I got to adjust it. I haven't really sat down to adjust that yet. But you can see all my headphone mix. You can see all the audio's different levels. And it only changes the audio levels in my headphones, and it doesn't change the audio levels over here in the other mixes, which is great. I like that. You can only adjust. You can adjust this separate and this separate and that separate and that separate, which is great. If you come over here though, and you turn any of these ones down, then you're turning everything down. So it's like here, if I mute this here, this channel, if I mute the channel, you see it muted it across the board. So now everywhere that it's plugged into is muted. So if I just mute it in my headphones, it still plays out over here, but not in my headphones, which is really great. I like that. Now, that's pretty much the whole concept of this wavelink, and it's pretty cool. Now, if they could add the dials to where you can add 2 outputs to the headphones, and then you can also switch which one, like say the voice chat, I only want it to go to my headphone, not my speakers. I can just mute the speaker on it and it won't go through the speaker. So if they could add that, then I could eliminate the speaker's output and just have one output, because then I could have this headphone speakers and I could adjust to everything I wanted. Now, this does have a Stream Deck plugin, okay? Plugin is pretty simple. They did add some more stuff in today. All right, so this is the Stream Deck. This is my Stream Deck Plus. Now, the way I have Wavelink put in this, they do have a plugin now. So my camera's in the middle of the plugin. So they do have the plugin now, okay? So here's the plugin right here. So the plugin, you can add wave control, gain lock, audio effect, channel level, audio to channel. It's add to channel, channel audio effect, mix level, toggle monitor mix, toggle mix output, output channel. And then on the dials, if you have a Stream Deck Plus with the dials, you can do wave control, channel level, mix level, output control. Okay, so the way I have mine set up, I have this one dial. It's a stacked dial, okay? So I have one dial and I have 5 actions in it. So what I did here is I added my mic. I can change my mic up and down. I added my gain volume, my chat volume, the Spotify, and the speakers. That's what I have set up. Everything else, all the other audio, I was just going to let it stay the way it was because it went to other areas that I didn't need to adjust it to yet. Now, my OBS here, I have this dial stack for my OBS. Now, for my OBS, I have the mic, Spotify, chat, game, and systems. Now, I'm still tweaking with the Spotify audio part, so I might be able to make it one dial that I can turn the dial down, mute it, and everything with one thing in 2 areas. So I'm still kind of working on that. But I really haven't done a deep dive into it. I was just trying to get this set up and worked and see what bugs there wasn't. This, now I have that set up so you can see here. It's a really neat little dial. Now I saw somebody else, you could actually make faders to go here and that work with the wavelength. So you can do the wavelength, and then you can do I think you can do like the mix level, right? And then you can set it to adjust, and then you can make it like you can do a fader on it. Now, I haven't quite figured it out if how to make it into two. Yeah, but you can make it into one big long fader that goes across two of these buttons. But yeah, you can make it into faders. Now, you can set it up to whatever you want. But I didn't like the faders because it's just taking up more space on my Stream Deck, taking up more buttons that I have to go use. So that's why I didn't do that. But I did do the dials, so I can just stack it in the dial. I can click the dial, I can turn it up or down and mute it. Now I liked it that way. I do have my audio, my scenes on my OBS scenes on a dial stack too. Now I'm gonna go over my sound effects real quick because I just make my own. I don't, or you can go to the websites, whatever they have, and download them. But I just make my own, so you can actually go into the sound deck right here, and you can set up a record audio. So as long as you hold the button down, it's going to record an audio. You can also do a sampler. You hit the button, it records so much back, and then you can just upload it. You can put it into Audacity and cut it down and make you a sound bit, and just come into these sound bits here. Your playback device is going to be the SFX, and then your action is going to be play and stop. So you push it, it plays it, and you push it again, it'll stop it. And then you add your file. So you add your air horn. Boom, plays it right through there. Pretty simple. That's how I make my own. And it's pretty simple. Now, Wavelink 3.0 beta, it's pretty cool to use. Like I said, I don't have no complaints. It's pretty easy to use. Using voice mod with Wavelink has always been a struggle. Even with the Wavelink 2, like I struggled with it so much that I just kind of got rid of it. And then I figured out how to make my own sound effects. I wasn't too worried about the voice changer. I do know that Elgato has some of its own voice effects. Like it has a Black Ops 6 voice modifier. There's a Pip Boy voice FX. And I think if you go into the marketplace, you can find some more if they updated it and added some more to it. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, this interface it's pretty cool to use, pretty easy to set up. Like I said, the only thing I wish they would add to it, and I hope they do add to it, is like I said, where you can put two outputs, and then in each area you can set how high or low each output area goes. Because I would really like to be able to go voice chat. I want my headphones mix to go to my headphones and to my speakers, but I also want to be able to come down here and say my voice chat, I only want it to go to my headphones, so I'll just mute the speaker part of it without having to physically mute the speaker part. I'm just muting the voice chat to the speaker. So that would come in handy. You know, it's kind of almost like the way the old Wavelink was. It had the two dials, your stream mix, and then this, but like I don't want to have two, because you only get 5 of these mixes, and I don't want to have to eat up 2 just for my headphones and my speakers, because I like to use my speakers doing certain things. But in other words, you know, babbled on quite a bit about this. It's pretty simple to add stuff, pretty simple to route it. It's still in beta, so there's still going to be more things being changed. So hopefully they do add what I need into it for the final product. But yeah, you know, hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. There's a few other videos out there that people are posting, so you can go look at that. And some of them are a little confusing and some ain't. Um, yeah, just hit me up at the comments. You got any question? Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.